All right, friends, welcome back. Crisis Report. It is December 15th, 2025, at least it was. This will be covering December 15th, 2025, as we move into December 16th, 2025. We're brought to you by Augusta Precious Metals. They take your 401k or IRA and turn it into gold and silver. I don't know if you've looked at what's going on in those metals markets, but they should be considered. There's a link in the description. But we are going to be talking about kind of the post-op of what's coming. And, of course, it's the same old answers to the same problems that they just don't have the guts to really fix. And what does that mean? Well, they're blaming the tool and not the person that is wielding the tool. And the person that is wielding the tool, well, according to S2 Underground, he said that the guy that was shooting and doing the main stuff was not supposed to be there. He's on a travel visa, a very largely extended one, and was able to get multiple boomsticks. So the solution now is to take things away from law-abiding Australian residents, which doesn't make sense. But it never does. And then the other thing they want to do is they want to take away your ability to speak. Now, should you be saying nasty things about certain groups and all that? No. But I don't know if you heard today, like the FBI foiled another plot in Los Angeles. If people, are able to speak freely, they're going to admit what they're about to do. If you're going to come in and, go after people for wrongthink and all that, and, I get not wanting to, I get trying to stop things before it happens, but like making it so we're in this like speech-based digital panopticon where the only thing that's allowed is like just nothingness, BS. I don't think that's going to be good. I think it's going to have a problem for everybody in society. And the speech police are coming. So the speech police are coming. And you guys should be getting ready. Yep. Let's get started. Let's get through this, and we'll go from there. All right, this one is called The Speech Police Cometh. It is for December 15th, 2025. This is your crisis report. You can find this on Substack, where I'm growing pretty nice and well. If you'd like to join us over on Substack, we'd love to have you. You can get it for free. You can get it for, hey, I like what you're doing, whatever. You can become a member on YouTube. Subscribe, Strong Locals, help the cause. This channel is hated by the people in the background, but I've just kind of come to it now. It's like, you know what? Whatever. I got my people. I got my little thing going on. If they want to, and I don't think the numbers you see are correct. I think they're BS because, and I know this because I literally make the same amount as I did back when I was getting much more views. So whatever. I appreciate you. So just know that, and whatever you can do to help the channel, it will hopefully help. And I need help sometimes when it comes to this because there is a pretty major clamp. But as we say, it's the most comprehensive news on YouTube. You just got to suffer through me talking on these nighttime ones for about, 4 minutes? Where are we at now? Yeah, there you go. Yep, about 4.5 minutes. So let's get started on your crisis report. The alerts I go straight into it. This lady's like, you should do it like S2. Well, nothing I do is going to make anything go my way when it comes to being put into the algorithm. Their satanic computer system has clamped me to where I am, but my daily alerts, they are more like that, where it's just like, hey, this is blah, blah, blah. This is the date. Here we go. So nighttime, I'm talking to you guys. I like to spread out a little bit, so deal with it. All right, here we go. 4 people charged plotting New Year's Eve bomb attacks in California. FBI reveals footage from a surveillance plane showing the 4 that had traveled out of the desert to test their explosive devices. Nice. Australia is going to toughen gun laws after the attack on the Jewish festival. Who could have saw that coming? Volkswagen is going to close its first German production site in 88-year history. It will stop manufacturing vehicles at its site in Dresden after Tuesday. Great job, Europe. You're doing awesome. NASDAQ is moving forward with a 23-hour, 5-day-a-week stock trading, expected to have 24/7 trading by 2026. So I'm sure that's going to go just fine. As you're sitting there Saturday night, you're asleep, some whale comes in and decides to completely screw over the market when nobody's looking, and there's some form of a weekend crash, something we've never seen before. I have a feeling that's going to go over great. Epstein files are going to be released this Friday. John Bolton is calling on Ukraine to lower the draft age from 25 to 18 so we can off more youngins and sustain the ongoing conflict. Deputy FBI Director Dan Bongino says he will decide on his future at the Bureau within the next few weeks. I think he's getting tired of all the crap. President Trump says his administration is looking into whether Israel violated the Gaza ceasefire. Department of War says its investigation into Senator Mark Kelly is escalating into a full command inquiry, according to a Dow official, Department of War official. Representative Comer has postponed the depositions of Bill and Hillary Clinton related to Jeffrey Epstein from this week to mid-January. Can't wait to watch those. Yeah. Zelensky says talks with the U.S. is not easy but productive. Well, that's good. It's good that at least you're talking to us, Mr. Z-Man. Strong winds knock over the Statue of Liberty replica in Cuiabá, Brazil. Sounds like an interesting thing. I saw a video of it. It's pretty representative. Getting knocked over. There's a growing risk that Russia will attack the UK, and the nation's sons and daughters need to be ready to fight, head of Britain's armed forces has said. So covered over that on PrepperNow, basically saying that Europe's getting ready for a war. It is. When Daddy Klaus says get ready to get your gun, you go get your gun, okay? Klaus! President Trump signed an executive order declassifying fentanyl as a weapon of mass destruction. So they've now classified fentanyl as a weapon of mass destruction. Bermuda's waters are hiding a mysterious giant structure that's unlike anything else on Earth, according to scientists, according to the New York Post. Ancient aliens should do a show. And another chief rabbi, this time in Britain, calls for mass censorship on citizens who speak against Israel. We have to crack down on the hate speech in a far more forceful and emphatic way than we previously have been. If you're saying nasty stuff against a certain religion, that's terrible, shouldn't be allowed. If a country is doing things like the nation state of Israel is, and you don't like it, that you should have the right to say, I disagree with this. Doesn't mean you hate all the Jays. Just means you don't like the policy. But that's why they got it like that. They're going to conflate those two so they can basically do whatever the heck they want. Estonia has begun constructing defensive fortifications along the border with Russia. So far, 7 bunkers have been installed, and by the end of the year, the number is planned to increase to 28 in total. The Estonian authorities intend to build around 600 such facilities. Each bunker has an area of 35 meters and is designed to withstand hits from 152 millimeter artillery shells. After an intense investigation, the Department of Justice, working with our FBI, prevented what would have been a massive and horrific terror plot in the Central District of California, Orange County, and Los Angeles. Turtle Island Liberation Front. So understand your history. What is Turtle Island? It is what many natives thousands of years ago called America and the continent of North America. They called it Turtle Island. So these people are not some run-of-the-mill whatever. These are far left, as it says here, pro-Palestinian, anti-government, anti-capitalist group. Okay, they are. So we're preparing to conduct a series of bombings against multiple targets in California. Beginning on New Year's Eve, the group also planned to target ICE agents and vehicles. This was an incredible effort by our U.S. attorneys' offices and the FBI to ensure Americans can live in peace. We will continue to pursue these terror groups and bring them to justice, they said. President Trump goes on a bizarre rant about the death of Jewish-American Hollywood actor Rob Reiner, who was, of course, taken out by his son, and he says that Rob Reiner died because of Trump derangement syndrome. I don't even know where to go to that one, dude. Just keep your mouth shut and legislate, okay? Or excuse me, execute. In accordance with Department of War Release Authority, the Iowa National Guard is releasing the names of the 2 soldiers who were killed in enemy attack on Saturday, December 13th in Palmyra, Syria. Deceased soldiers are Sergeant William Nathaniel Howard, 29, of Marshalltown, Iowa, and Sergeant Edgar Brian Torres Tovar, 25, of Des Moines, Iowa. Both were members of the 1st Squadron, 113th Cavalry Regiment. Turkey's Ministry of Defense has released a statement announcing shoot down earlier tonight of an unidentified drone approaching Turkish airspace over the Black Sea by an F-16 Fighting Falcon of the Turkish Air Force. An illegal Somalian immigrant, Abdimajid Mohammed Al-Nur, has been sentenced to 10 years in federal prison after authorities said he stole $68 million in taxpayer funds and sent the money home. Sajid Naveed Akram, the father and son duo who carried out the Sydney attack, visited areas in the Philippines in November where ISIS training exists. Australian Federal Police is expected to investigate where the men traveled and the purpose of their visit. Somalian communities in Minneapolis are setting up roadblocks to prevent ICE from coming into their neighborhoods. December 15th, the direction of Secretary of War Pete Hegseth, Joint Task Force Southern Spear, conducted lethal kinetic strikes on 3 vessels operated by designated terrorist organizations in international waters. Intelligence confirmed that the vessels were transiting along known narco-trafficking routes in the Eastern Pacific, I mean, aren't they all are, and were engaged in narco-trafficking. A total of 8 male narco-terrorists were killed during these actions. 3 in the first vessel, 2 in the second, and 3 in the third. So, hoorah. Washington, D.C. police chief falsified crime statistics to make the city seem much safer than it was. December 15th, Guangxi Baise at the Lewang Expressway, local workers blocked the roads to demand wages and protect their rights as a company that they work for. It didn't pay, they haven't been paid in months. So Tesla is now on track to post a record high close, adding $850 billion since April of 2025. Makes it a $1.5 trillion company. Elon Musk has done it again. Elon Musk becomes the first person in history to hit $600 billion in net worth. In a massive hit, Ford is writing down $19.5 billion in EV investments. Great job. Ford will also stop producing the electric version of the F-150. Sudden turn of events, Kevin Warsh is now officially the favorite to become the next Fed chair. 48% chance of winning on Parley Market. Comes out after the reports emerged that Hassett's Fed chair candidacy saw a pushback from high-level people close to Trump. So probably for the better. I don't know. Dollar is entrenched in the world's financial system, and it is not going to go anywhere anytime soon. That's the good news. Despite the BRICS nations wanting to trade less in the dollar, they won't, or they really don't have a viable alternative to that. Gold has become one of those release valves for them, and that's part of what the gold price is telling us. It's $4,000 an ounce or more because there's been aggressive buying. What I do see, it's from a poster, though, is a bit of rejection of the dollar and U.S. treasuries internationally in favor of gold. If you look at how much the assets of central banks around the world, they now hold more gold than in dollar value than treasuries for the first time since 1995. Pretty sure. Gold has come back in the last couple of years, making a resurgence, the second alternative to the dollar reserve, quote, unquote, currency. And gold was the world's reserve currency from ancient times all the way to the 1930s, till gold money or currency went out of favor just before World War II. So in a way, we're heading back to the past with gold being an asset, because gold in a vault can't be seized or sanctioned. It has no counterparty risk and is immediately liquid when you want to present it to a ready, willing, and able buyer. And those are the main attributes, and it's neutral asset. So it's not a commodity like oil or grain that we need in everyday life. We really don't need gold to transact everyday life with. So a natural, neutral asset, it makes good choice for a reserve currency as well. That's according to Dana Samuelson of Amerigold. All right, friends, thanks for being here. Thanks for joining us on the Crisis Report. You hit those buttons and stuff as you leave. Tap that screen twice if you're on mobile. Appreciate you being here. Join us on these lives on the weekdays. We're getting more consistent here pretty soon. Yeah, we're going to do our best. But that's it. Join us on Subscribestar, Locals, Truth, Gab, Minds, X, Twitter, all that. In fact, you can watch this again on X when you're done. But yeah, we're getting everything put together, and we'll get her done. So we appreciate you. God bless you all. We will see you on the other side. Have a great night.